Good morning from Cleveland again. It's Susan at Seaside Stitches. I'm just seeing if I can capture this wind farm for you. I am obsessed with it, but it is much clearer today. I really can't tell what I've got because it's quite bright. I'll take a still and see. Oh no, I think I've got them. They look like thick white posts or something, but they are stacked behind each other, so I can at some point see that they're separate. Hi again. Just moved on to Russell Beach, this is called, and just seeing wind turbines, as my nephew calls them, because that is actually what they do. Turbine. Anyway, this is Russell Beach. It's absolutely beautiful. Lovely crunching on the pebbles. And the mountains across there are Barrow-in-Furness and the Lake District. But on a nice clear day we say, hey, you can see Barrow. That means Barrow-in-Furness. Okay. Catch up with you later. We've been on the front at Cleveland's, not really on the front, it's at Russell Beach we went. The light is really strange. It's beautiful, but the sun is very low and it's quite piercing and it's a bit difficult to drive. The reason I've got a microphone is just that last time we got more road noise and wave noise and everything else noise, so I'm trying to concentrate my voice into the microphone. So today is Happy Vlogmas Day 7. I wasn't able to do number 6 and I didn't properly sign off on number 5, so I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed it all the same. We're just going to go to Knot End because that's a favourite place of ours. It's not very far and we don't normally get out of the car to have a walk because it's quite a narrow walkway and there are lots of people walking, but it's a beautiful view of the other side of Fleetwood and the River Wyre. There used to be big container ships coming in there, roll on, roll off, massively busy, but they all stopped, and the P&O cargo ships were moved to Heysham, which is not far from Morecambe, or to Liverpool. The Isle of Man ferry used to go from Fleetwood as well. I've got a big white patch on my chin there. I'm wearing a sunbeard at the moment. And yes, so we're going to go to Knot End and go to Knot End Chippy if it is open, because we share a fish and chips and sit by the sea. And that's our exercise because we're hopeless at exercise. So lifting a fork to our mouths with our fish and chips is about the biggest exercise we do. So I'll come back to you in a little while. All right, thank you. Oh, and while we were here, we risked going on Fleetwood Freeport, which is what it was called. Now changed to a ridiculous name called Affinity. That's the name of the company, but it's a shopping centre and it's related to Fleetwood and it's by the dock, the harbour, and well, it backs onto it. So I've been on there and had some photos taken in my second Harper cardigan because I am obsessed with the Harper cardigan. And when I nipped into Fleetwood Fabrics, one of the lovely ladies there said, "Oh, I love your jacket. Did you make it or did you buy it?" And I said, "No, I made it." So I kind of flashed the inside of it and she went, "Oh, it's not knitted," because it's cable jersey. So she hadn't seen that before. And so I gave her the details. She wrote down that it's a free pattern from Sinclair Patterns. I said, "You can do it in 3 different lengths." "Oh no, I love that really long length." There's the sun on my face again. "I love that really long length." And Maureen said, "Oh yes, it's very elegant." So I took my elegant cardigan to the back of Freeport and had my photo taken in it so that I can do that for my Me Makes sometime this week, probably. So you get an idea of the length of it with my really, really long skirt. Anyway, I'll speak to you later. Bye. There's quite a lot of glare today, so I don't know what this will pick up. But we're at Fleetwood, what was called Fleetwood Freeport. It's a shopping centre. We had a peek in and it's quite quiet, otherwise we'd have been leaving again very quickly. But just lovely to see this little... I'm going to get blinded by the sun if I go this way. Fleetwood Riviera. And they built masses of houses over the water there. It's called Fleetwood Harbour View. Masses and masses of new houses. And it all looks out onto the River Wyre. Just see. This is just a gorgeous morning. Well, the chip shop wasn't open. I've just eaten the insides of a cold butter pie, a Preston delicacy. This is called Knot End. It's where the River Wyre meets the sea, or becomes the sea, or visits the sea. I have it upside down, just so I don't put my finger on the thing. We'll get glare in a minute. There, we've got glare. Let's go past. So that over there, just hang on. Let me come back again. This is Fleetwood Centre, Fleetwood Town, the town of Fleetwood, and on the bend over there is the Euston Hotel. On the edge, on its own really, on a little shelter, that's the lighthouse. As far as I understand, that was the first lighthouse for Fleetwood. I might be wrong about that, but it's quite notable because it has two lighthouses. That's the second lighthouse. Let's see if I can... No, can't make it bigger. There you go, anyway, never mind. So, more or less behind that lighthouse is the street that I took you to the other day, where the Fleetwood fabric shop is. And then looking out over the sea, that's kind of parallel with where the wind farm is from the other angle, across the water, across the other side of the River Wyre. And then just let these people pass. And then far out there are some buildings. That is Barrow-in-Furness. That's Barrow-in-Furness. It's Ministry of Defence or British Aerospace or whatever you want to call it. I won't go into any detail about that. Then that's kind of the hills. The little ferry thing there. That goes from Heysham to the Isle of Man. They're just waiting for the tide. And there's another one waiting for the tide. It's not massively interesting. It's just such a beautiful day and it's lovely to be out. And we've got some tweeters. There's a couple of people with really massive lenses on their cameras, and they're just filming on this little marsh area down here. So what there is, I don't know, but there must be something of huge interest to them for them to be making the effort to be looking and photographing. And there are lots of chicks or baby birds, I don't know from what, but there's something going on. But as I'm quite ignorant about nature and wildlife, I have no idea what it is that's interesting them. There's a kind of a flock of something just took off. which I missed anyway. But they're not just gulls, so I don't know quite what they're watching. Okay, that's it for now. But it's absolutely beautiful out here. I'll see you later. That jetty, there's lots of, well, there is a car with a trailer on, if you can see on it. There will be someone using the little cruiser for a pleasure trip. It's fascinating watching them winch them back onto the trailers. We're still letting them down off the trailers, and one day we thought there was going to be a really bad accident. We were kind of poised with our phones. There were three of us in a row in different cars, all looking as if we were going to call for the Coast Guard any minute now. There is a Coast Guard unit up there, just behind those trees, but you never know if it's actually active or not. It all turned out in the end, but it was a bit scary, and they took some risks that I wouldn't have liked to have had to have taken myself. Okay, I've just come round the bay a bit now, so where that building is, that's at the back of that is where the Coast Guard unit is. So I'm come round this side, and that's one of the ferries that was waiting to go to the Isle of Man, waiting for the tide. That one set off. There is another one backed up a bit further round here, which is, the first one is the Steam Packet Company, and this is something truck. I've got it written down somewhere. Anyway, so just coming round. So this is Knot End itself, Knot End Bay, I suppose. It's not really a bay, is it? But it's the Wyre estuary. No, it's the Loon estuary. It's as the Wyre has gone to the sea. This is the River Loon. It opens up onto the Loon estuary, I believe. Or that could still be around the other. Anyway, I'll look into that. But that other building there, that is Heysham Nuclear Power Station. Enough said about that, then the better. And then beyond Heysham is Morecambe. So it's Morecambe Bay that really is more related to the Loon. But then, we've got some trotters. I think we may have a trotting horse coming. They are the lakes going up to the Lake District Mountains. I'm just going to turn right round now without it jarring too much to watch a trotter. Here we go. Wonderful. Well, that's not a sight you see every day, is it? I've certainly not seen them around here before. So this is like Knot End marshes, and a kind of beach. So over there is coming round to Lancaster. So we're heading back now. Just thought I'd stop again. So I'm glad I did, because we've got the trotter. Okay, it's Susan again, and it's just about to be sunset, and I just looked out of the window, and it's there are such atmospheric clouds. I wanted to take it for you, so I've buzzed down a bit. I don't mean I've come on a buzz. In Lancashire we would call a buzz sometimes in different regions. So I'm just trying to capture, these are clouds, not trees. And the clouds just on the horizon. It's really quite spectacular. You might even be able to see lights twinkling. You may or may not. I've not got much battery, so I just thought I'd risk it. I'll just turn it off a minute. So there are lights on the horizon twinkling. Some of those are platforms. I used to call them rigs, but we have someone who is a drilling engineer, and he said they're not rigs, they're platforms. So I stand corrected. Yes, John. So this is towards Blackpool. I know it's very dark on the sea. You perhaps just see it rippling a bit. But that beyond is just magnificent. It just looks like a forest of clouds. You can see it a bit golden, a bit reddish. I think we've missed the actual sun going down. It's somewhere going down well behind those clouds. Told you I've been having a nerdy day, didn't I? Day 7 now, because I think you've had quite enough of nerdy stuff to look at and to be shown and to be talked about. And this cyclamen is beautiful. So it's goodbye from me. Okay, see you tomorrow. Happy Vlogmas Day 7 from Susan at Seaside Stitches.